Happy 4th of July, my friends. I figured I had to do a review in honor of this holiday where we, America, claimed our independence. But because things in America are completely... how should I say it?
It's over. We are screwed.
Let's take a moment and remember to laugh. Remember to laugh when you're at the movies. And there's nothing that brings me more joy than this film right here.
Yes, it is my birthday.
One of the greatest comedies ever frickin' made, my neighbors, from Paramount Pictures and, of course, Eddie Murphy Productions, even though he didn't technically produce it. It is Coming to America. Released in 1988, starring 4 to 5 renditions of one of the great masters in comedy and film, period, Eddie Murphy, primarily playing Prince Akeem Joffer of the wealthy and beautiful African nation of Zamunda, where he is spoiled beyond belief.
Oha! It is my 21st birthday. Do you think perhaps just once I might use the bathroom by myself?
Most amusing, sir. Wipers!
And now he wants his own independence, pleading to his father and mother, the king and queen. Oh my God, epically played by the GOAT himself, James Earl Jones, and the great Madge Sinclair.
What is the matter, dear? You are the son of a king. Why should you not walk on the petals of roses?
But mother, if there were no rose petals, I would still be the son of a king.
Then it is settled. From this day forth, anyone who throws roses at my son's feet will answer to me.
Plus, he's betrothed against his will to marry a woman he doesn't even know. God bless her.
Hop on one leg.
But with the help of his friend and personal aide, Semi, again played by the hilarious Arsenio Hall, he will go to America to find his own bride that loves him for who he is, not for his status. But where should he go?
Queens.
Perfect. And yes, the fish out of water story expands in brilliance from stripping themselves off of their riches to living in one hell of a dump in Queens, which was actually filmed in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, to working as janitors at McDonald's. Sorry.
See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. Huh? They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs.
Yep, that's right, McDowell's, owned by the great, again, John Amos. And there, Akeem meets the lovely Lisa, played by SHARI HEADLEY. And maybe he's found his bride after doing everything he can to get to know her. But as long as her trash boyfriend that she has, Daryl, played well by Eriq Salle, is around, he'll have a bigger conflict. But the cool thing about Daryl is that he owns the Jerry Curl hairstyling spray entitled
Just let your soul go. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul.
Yeah, I'm the guy on the subway that's humming that every which way. I can't help it. Folks, if I haven't said it already, this is one of my favorite comedies frickin' ever that has some of the most iconic lines ever said in a film. Some of the most endearing and hysterical characters you'll ever find in a comedy. Because that's the great secret of a really damn great comedy, is if you're funny enough, do you have sincere moments of drama that really mix it together as a perfect package, which this excels greatly. You just become so thankful that a film like this exists as a major star vehicle for Eddie Murphy, who was one of the biggest stars at this point. His salary was $8 million on this picture, plus 15% of rental profits. Let that sink in. With the work that he gives in this, oh man, I feel like he deserved even more. This project was so championed by Murphy since he received a story credit for this film. The script was actually credited to David Sheffield and Barry W. Blaustein, Saturday Night Live writers, who would later collaborate with Eddie some more on Boomerang, The Nutty Professors, and the sequel, Coming to America, which... that's another review for another day. But they hit it out of the park with this film, using all their powers and strengths to create fun magic on screen.
You know what Frank told me? He said, hey, Joe Louis 137 years old. 137 years old.
Oh, man, you ain't never meet no Frank Sinatra.
Fuck you! Fuck you! And fuck you! Who's next?
One of those powers was not only talent, Jesus, how Eddie just transforms into every single character he plays, like, Holy Lord, Mr. Randy Watson.
It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful out. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely.
One of the greatest scenes ever when Akeem and Semi are at Black Awareness Week and their special musical guest, Mr. Randy Watson, just tears it up with some Whitney Houston with,
You can't take away my dignity because the great answer, love of all.
It's just comic genius.
Sexy chocolate!
But yes, Clarence in the barbershop, as well as Saul in that barbershop. My God, yes, that is Eddie Murphy. It's the amazing power of Eddie, but also makeup designer Rick Baker, the recent two-time Oscar winner for makeup, who also designed the makeup for Michael Jackson's Thriller. His makeup here is just outstanding, and honestly, Rick Baker to me has to be the greatest makeup effects artist in cinema. I mean, next to Dick Smith, Stan Winston, etc. Oh, the list is long, but my goodness, it just can't be beat. But where was I? Oh yes, not only Eddie's performance power, but producing power, requesting one of the other great directors, John Landis, to step in and direct this. Eddie was originally going to direct it, but he and John were friends, having worked together on Trading Places. But after the success that was Trading Places, poor John was hit with 4 flops in a row, one of which took him to court for manslaughter, that being Twilight Zone the movie. Oh man, it's hard even thinking about it now with that accidental tragedy that was on that film set, which I'll hold off on the details for now, but it set John back quite a lot in finances and in Hollywood. So Eddie thought this film would revive his career, because no matter what, he was still a great director. He still is a great director, God bless him. Brilliant with comedy, because John always loved playing on set. He's directed some of the greatest performances on film, so it was hard, but Eddie was able to get him in. And then the clashing. John and Eddie apparently clashed like crazy while making this film. John saying it was because Eddie was a prima donna by this point, always had his entourage, and thought he was better than everybody else. Eddie saying because John wanted to take control and was a little more on edge. So the two had a falling out, but it all worked out okay. One, because even after this comedic masterwork became a hit, they reconciled and made Beverly Hills Cop 3 together just 6 years later. I mean, in the end, you have a totally great mix of a John Landis film tonally, where Landis just lets us, the audience, just sit in the comedy a little longer. The pacing is actually slower when you think about it. And when you rewatch it, it honestly takes a minute to get that engine still going. But honestly, that's what brings out the charm in this picture. Also, not to mention great fourth wall breaking. We love that. It's also not a great John Landis film without some brilliant cameos from the Dukes, from Trading Places, Don Amici and Ralph Bellamy.
We're back.
I smile every time I see these legends in here. But also, in that soup, the silent hero again is Arsenio, just counterbalancing perfectly Akeem's naivete about New York with how annoying this new life in the slums is. But also again playing Reverend Brown in Stitches, as well as Morris, the other barber, with Clarence. Just a whirlwind of character work that's so inspiring as an actor. Personally,
I suppose nobody in here ever heard of Cassius Clay.
We got a point. Cassius Clay was a bad motherfucker. And you all know is Joe the Policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama.
and that goes for the whole ensemble, like Amos, Louis Anderson for God's sake, and cameos a go-go, with Samuel L. Jackson as the robber.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
Cuba Gooding Jr. in that barber chair. Remember that? Frankie Faison as Akeem and Semi's landlord.
You may enter.
Bondi Curtis Hall as the vendor at the Knicks game.
This is the greatest day of my life.
Clint Smith as Sweets, the other barber.
That boy is good. Good and terrible.
It just never ends in hilarity.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Everyone comes to work here. Like Nile Rodgers' score, which is heavily based in African music and gives a vibrant, beautiful energy to the film and retains the initial basis of the film when it was written as a fairy tale. The film actually received a negative reaction in the press screenings, surprisingly, but when it was given a wide release, it was huge, becoming the highest grossing film for Paramount Pictures that year of 1988 and the third highest grossing picture in the US of the year, period, grossing $350 million worldwide over its $36 million budget. Also receiving the beautiful honor of 2 Oscar nominations for Best Makeup for Rick Baker. That's flippin' right. And then Best Costume Design, naturally, done by John Landis' wife, Deborah Nadoolman. All completely deserved, but it stands even taller, beyond it all, for it's a classic that nobody gets tired of. How dare you if you do? And its legacy still lives on to this day, inspiring a television pilot in 1989 starring Tommy Davidson as Prince Tariq and Paul Bates reprising his role as Oha. Obviously, it did not go well, but it was televised on July 4th. Hey, you see?
What is this? McDowell's?
It's a place over on Queens Boulevard. I think he works there.
My son works.
So, my friends and neighbors, I give John Landis and Eddie Murphy's Coming to America an A. Yeah, like I said, the pacing can be at times a bit slower than expected, and Landis recognized that immediately and even wanted to do a director's cut. But then again, the producer said, why? It's a big hit. You think this would put an end to Landis' troubles, but even this film couldn't stop from going to court. Granted, it wasn't Landis going to court again, but the writers did over a copyright lawsuit saying that they stole the script. But it was settled, thankfully, out of court, and the thing is about this business, sometimes multiple artists have the same brilliant ideas. What can you say? But like Mr. McDowell says to King Joffer,
"This is America, Jack."
That's frickin' right, man. This is America, where no matter who you are, where you come from, you are welcomed to make a new life for yourself. So yeah, you know what? This 4th of July, guys, watch this great classic. Give yourself the permission and the chance to laugh through the chaos. That's what cinema is here for, and that's why I love cinema so much. Tell me, my friends, is Coming to America your favorite Eddie Murphy film? Does this film make you want to come to America? Let me know in those comments. Like, share, subscribe, and stay tuned for more to come on here. Thank you all so very much for watching. And oh yes, even though America is completely messed up,
It is also tradition that times must and always do change, my friend.
that's right, Akeem. We will progress after all is mended.
To America.
The belief in the real American people.
All right, I'll taste the soup. Where's the spoon? Aha! Aha! What do you know from funny, you bastard?